Press the bell icon on YouTube and don't miss another update.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his counterpart in Pakistan, Prime Minister Imran Khan, finally met on the margins of the Shanghai Cooperation Organization summit in Bishkek on Friday evening. This ends the current phase of hostility between the two countries that began with the Pulwama attacks on the 14th of February when 40 CRPF soldiers were killed. And in the wake of that, we know that the Indian Air Force struck deep inside Pakistan in Balakot. This has never ever happened before. And the Pakistanis retaliated the day after on the 27th of February, capturing Wing Commander Abhinandan. Now that phase and the Balakot strikes that Prime Minister Modi very effectively used as a political weapon in the duration of his election campaign, which helped bring him back to power to a large degree. That current phase of hostility has come to an end with this conversation between between Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Imran Khan. We don't know whether we can call it a conversation, we don't know whether we can call it a meeting, because sources in both India and in Pakistan are completely denying that anything real or anything substantive was discussed between the two leaders. We know there was a handshake. We know that we don't know very much else actually. We don't know whether cross-border terrorism on Pakistan's part was discussed, whether the Kashmir dispute was discussed, whether both sides promised each other, at least promised to restart or return to the dialogue table. Nothing has been told to the media on both sides. Perhaps that is a signal that both countries want to talk to each other. We know that there has been a back channel that's been in operation since the 27th of February when Wing Commander Abhinandan was captured, and that officials in the Indian establishment as well as their counterparts in Pakistan helped in the release, the release of Abhinandan was brokered by external actors, of course, notably the Americans, the Russians and the Saudis. But the fact that there was a conversation between senior officials in India and in Pakistan at the time was a big element in continuing this back channel conversation that has been ongoing ever since, and which paved the way for this conversation or so-called meeting between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Imran Khan in Bishkek. Perhaps this conversation will go on. We don't know whether like I said before, we don't know whether this will lead to anything, the restart of a composite dialogue or any kind of a dialogue. We don't know whether the airspace over Pakistan will be open very soon, although we have reported in ThePrint that that was perhaps one of the things that is being talked about. But I think going forward in England, India and Pakistan will play the World Cup match in cricket on Sunday. That is going to be a showstopper that the people of both countries are going to watch with immense interest. So 1.6 billion people watching cricket while the Prime Ministers of India and Pakistan meet in Bishkek but say nothing at all to the media. And later on in the month, the US Secretary of State Mike Pompeo comes to Delhi. Again, definitely a conversation on regional stability, on India and Pakistan, but watch out for the India-Pakistan match. The conversation has started, has been renewed, but we know that when cricket is played between India and Pakistan, it's much more than sport. This is Jyoti Malhotra for ThePrint.